Women are naturally drawn to men who respect themselves and carry themselves with quiet confidence. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's knowing your worth without needing to prove it. When you value yourself, she will too. You see, everything begins with how you see yourself. Before you can expect anyone else, especially a woman, to desire you, be drawn to you, or even respect you, you need to do those things for yourself first. That's where self-respect and confidence come in. And no, I'm not talking about puffing your chest out or pretending to be someone you're not. True confidence is quiet. It's rooted in self-awareness and a genuine belief in your value, with or without applause. Think about this. When you walk into a room, do you shrink yourself hoping not to be noticed? Or do you walk in knowing you belong, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you've already approved of yourself? That internal validation changes everything. You don't chase attention. You don't beg for it. You become the kind of man who naturally commands it. Women can sense insecurity before you even speak. It's in your body language. It's in the way you hesitate. It's in the way you ask questions hoping for permission instead of making statements with certainty. A man who lacks self-respect often ends up overcompensating, doing too much to gain approval, trying to buy affection, or changing his personality just to be liked. But that never works in the long run, because eventually the truth shows, and no one can love a version of you that you created out of fear. When you respect yourself, you no longer need to convince her to want you. Your energy speaks before your mouth does. You stop trying to impress and start focusing on expressing your truth, your vision, your boundaries. And here's the twist. The moment you stop chasing and start choosing how you show up, who you engage with, and where your energy goes, that's when she starts noticing you. Not because you're trying to prove something, but because you're finally standing in who you are. Confidence is attractive not just because it looks good, but because it makes people feel safe. Safe in your presence, safe in your leadership, safe in your certainty, and that doesn't mean you have to be loud or dominant. Sometimes it's the calmest man in the room who has the most power. His silence speaks volumes. His presence demands attention, not because he's trying, but because he's secure in himself. And yes, it takes work to get there. You've got to spend time getting to know who you are, what you believe, and what you stand for. You've got to build routines that strengthen your discipline, develop habits that shape your identity, and surround yourself with people who reflect your future, not your past. You need to invest in your mind, your body, your spirit. When you become the kind of man who keeps promises to himself, who walks away from situations that don't serve him, who doesn't trade dignity for temporary affection, you win . Because you're no longer just desirable, you're unforgettable. A lot of men ask, what do I say to make her want me? But that's the wrong question. The real question is, what kind of man do I need to become so I no longer need to convince anyone to choose me? That shift changes your relationships forever. Because now, it's not about performance, it's about alignment. You stop trying to be the nice guy hoping for crumbs of affection, and instead, you become the man who commands the whole table simply by walking in truth. Let me say this clearly. The most irresistible man isn't the richest, the best looking, or the most charming. It's the man who knows who he is, refuses to be shaken by outside noise, and walks with quiet confidence rooted in clarity. That's magnetic, that's rare, and in a world full of men pretending to be something they're not, the one who's authentic and grounded. He stands out without even trying, so if you want her to want you instantly, start with you. Start by looking in the mirror and asking, am I proud of the man I'm becoming? If the answer is no, that's your starting point. Work on that, build that, own that, because the truth is the world, and the right woman, will always mirror back to you the energy you carry inside. You don't have to force attraction. You only need to embody the kind of self-respect that makes her pause, look again, and think, asterisk, there's something different about him. Asterisk, become the man that doesn't chase validation because he's already given it to himself. There's something incredibly attractive about a man who knows where he's going. A man with a mission, a vision, a sense of purpose that drives him, whether anyone is watching or not. You see, one of the biggest mistakes men make when it comes to relationships is centering their entire lives around the idea of getting a woman. They make her the goal, they make her the prize, and in doing so they lose themselves. But here's the truth. She's not looking for a man who's just looking for her. She's looking for a man who's building something asterisk, bigger asterisk, and inviting her into that journey. When you don't have a mission, you become directionless, easily swayed, reactive instead of intentional. You wait for things to happen instead of making things happen. And when a woman senses that, she may engage with you for a moment, but it won't be long before she realizes there's no depth, no drive, no movement. You're just standing still, and no one wants to hitch their life to someone who isn't going anywhere. But when a man is focused, when he's working on something that matters, when he wakes up with passion and discipline and clarity, his energy shifts. His posture changes. He starts to move with purpose, and that's when women begin to notice him, not because he's trying to impress them, but because his life already speaks of value and direction. He's not chasing her, he's chasing destiny, and that pursuit makes him magnetic. Purpose gives you focus. It teaches you patience, it builds your character, and most importantly, it protects you from desperation. Because you're no longer out here looking for someone to fill a void. You're looking for someone to share in what you're already building. That shift is everything, because a man with a mission doesn't get lost in the emotions of every relationship. He doesn't collapse at the first sign of rejection. He understands that love is not the mission. It's a companion for the mission. Women aren't attracted to confusion. They're drawn to conviction. They want to see a man who is willing to work, to lead, to sacrifice for something greater than himself. A man who knows why he's here and refuses to be distracted by things that don't align with that calling. That's powerful. That's rare. That's the kind of energy that doesn't beg for attention. It commands respect. And let's be honest, this doesn't mean you have to be famous, rich, or running some massive business. Your purpose could be anything: creating, serving, building, teaching, protecting. It could be starting a business, leading your family well, developing your craft, mentoring others, or even healing your past. It's not about status. It's about asterisk substance asterisk. When a woman sees that you're consistently moving in purpose, that you're not afraid to commit to growth, to discipline, to vision, she sees potential. And not just potential in you, but potential for asterisk her asterisk future too. You can't fake purpose. You either have it or you don't. And the ones who have it don't need to talk about it all the time. It shows in the way they carry themselves, in the choices they make, in the environments they protect, in the people they associate with. A man on a mission doesn't settle for distractions. He filters everything through the question: asterisk, does this move me closer to or further away from my purpose? Asterisk, that includes the relationships he entertains. When you're living on purpose, you don't just let anyone into your life because they're attractive or available. You begin to value your time, your energy, your space. You become more selective, more intentional. And guess what? That's when the right kind of woman starts to take interest. Not because you're trying to be impressive, but because you're already impressive to yourself. She sees that you're not looking to be rescued or completed. You're looking to be complemented, and that mindset separates you from the masses. So, if you really want to capture a woman's attention, don't make her your mission. Make your life your mission. Let her see you building. Let her see you failing and getting back up. Let her see your consistency, your focus, your evolution. And in that, she will see security. She will see leadership. She will see someone worth following, not because you said so, but because your life proves it. A man without purpose is easily distracted. A man with purpose is deeply grounded. One blends in, the other stands out. Let me tell you something that many men overlook. Emotional control isn't just a sign of maturity, it's magnetic. It's the kind of strength that doesn't show up in your muscles or your voice, but in your ability to stay grounded when life or love tries to shake you. And in a world full of reactive, impulsive, emotionally unstable people, the man who can stay calm, composed, and emotionally steady, he stands out without even trying. Here's the truth. Women don't expect you to be emotionless. That's not what control means. You're human. You're going to feel frustration, disappointment, even anger. But what separates one man from another is what he does with those emotions. Do you explode when things don't go your way? Do you spiral into anxiety when she doesn't text